This video is sponsored by Squarespace. This is what your phone wallpaper says about you. If your phone wallpaper is the default Apple/Android background, then you're too lazy to change your wallpaper. It's not a choice, and therefore, there's not really anything for me to say about this. Your phone might as well still be in the box. You probably also have like 2,300 unread emails. If your phone background is a picture of your significant other, so for this one, right, it depends on what the motivation is behind you setting this picture as your phone background. So if this person had set this picture of this significant other out of their own volition, right, like they chose to set this as the background, then this is probably nice, right? Like, oh, look how in love they are. It's very wholesome. It's very nice. It's like the type of thing that you see in the fucking street, and then it invites all of those like, oh my god, I'm so lonely gifs, like the one of the guy huddled on his side crying. But on the other hand, if they set this as their phone background because their significant other told them to, or like they felt pressure to, then this is either number one, insurance, or number two, a defensive PR move. But regardless of which camp you're in, right, in general, you can use the phone wallpaper as like a barometer of the relationship, right? But the moment it reverts back to like a landscape or like a default galaxy scroll, you know that shit is over. If your phone wallpaper is a picture of your pet, then yeah, this is wholesome. Yeah, this is nice. Like, oh, there's some secret, hidden dark thing. Not really. Yeah, I don't really know what to fucking say for this one. That's your dog. Hell yeah. You probably like having a little slice of pie sometimes, or like you probably like a good TV show. You like having an ice cream cone, like everyone else. This is good. Yeah, approved. Good. If your phone wallpaper is a selfie or a picture of yourself, then I think this is insane. This is insane behavior. It's not even like, I know the standard thing to say here would be like, oh wow, you're such a narcissist, but like in my opinion, right? Like don't even worry about that part. Like that is not even the part that I think is insane. Like I think that this is like clinically insane because you know that other people can see that your phone wallpaper is a picture of yourself. I think that's the crazy part. I don't actually think I've actually met anyone personally that has done this. I've only like kind of tangentially seen it amongst like almost true strangers or like people I've had like one or two conversations with. So like I don't actually know anyone that like earnestly does this. So I'm speaking anecdotally, right? And also theoretically, but like in my opinion, you're fucking crazy. If you have a group photo or pictures of your friends as your phone wallpaper, then this is nice. Again, like the pet thing, you are a normal and well-adjusted person who other things that are alive like being around. Good, approved, normal. If you have a motivational quote as your phone wallpaper, there are basically two main types, right? You're either this one or this one. So starting with this one, right? If your phone wallpaper kind of looks like this, then this is like the David Goggins-esque slogan in like bold font on like a black background or like something like that, right? And the quote probably says something like, stay hard, embrace the suck, discipline equals freedom, work hard until your bank account looks like a phone number, sleep is for the weak, no excuses, push yourself because no one will. You're probably someone that really likes the ideology of stoicism and the aesthetic of routine and suffering. Essentially, you're someone that likes to frame discomfort as a virtue and then you quote it back to yourself until it sticks. So here the lock screen isn't really motivating per se as much as it is about holding yourself emotionally hostage. The phone here has to bully you or else you're afraid that everything else will slide. Second type of motivational quote phone background looks like this, soft pastel gradient, and the quote is probably something like, you are enough, the universe has your back, or trust in divine timing. It might also be paired with like a moon phase graphic found on Pinterest. So this phone background, right? This works by like reading it as a prescription every morning because it's an affirmation or a manifestation. If you're really advanced, you would like read this while also listening to like 888 hertz healing music on Spotify or what the fuck is the 425 999? One of those, right? One of those hertz healing music things. This works for about 10 seconds and then you're back on Instagram Reels by breakfast. The quote here will rotate weekly depending on what manifestation TikTok is trending. You can probably think of the difference here between this type of phone wallpaper and this type of phone wallpaper as the difference in male versus female fitness coaches and how they motivate you, right? So like women really like it when the instructor is really encouraging, right? So they like it when the fitness instructor is like, come on, you can do it, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're strong and powerful, and I love you, and I like that you do it for yourself, oh my god, look at you, you're amazing. They like that type of fitness, right? And then in contrast to that, men like it when the instructor is like, you go that fucking hard, you go that fucking bad, my grandma can lift more than you and she's fucking dead, you're weak, you're a loser, no one loves you and you'll die at Planet Fitness doing half reps. And the difference here is like obvious, right? On the one hand, one signals the drill sergeant, and on the other hand, the therapist. And both of them end up on your lock screen, silently narrating who you think you are, both compensating for the same thing, a fear of collapse, only differing in approach due to how each group has specifically been socialized to reach for opposite strategies. Discipline through shame versus resilience through reassurance. If your phone wallpaper is a picture that you took yourself, so like an artsy shot or like a city skyline, then you considered starting an Instagram account for your photography, but the idea of having a minimal amount of followers on this new Instagram was too humiliating for you, but also the idea of having to use hashtags to try and increase your reach to gain followers was also too humiliating for you, so you were just kind of stuck in the middle. If you have a solid or minimalist gradient phone background, then you want to be perceived as someone that's like minimalistic or aesthetically aligned, right? But like also you don't really want your phone lock screen exposing whatever deepest, darkest secrets that you have in public, right? This is like emotionally beige phone background. If your phone wallpaper is a picture of your celebrity crush, then you are either number 1 in middle school or number 2, your pastime is arguing with people in comment sections. If your phone wallpaper is a sports team or like a sports team logo, then this is exactly the same as the celebrity crush one, except your celebrity crush is 11 dudes in matching jerseys. If you have an anime themed phone wallpaper, then I think in general there are 3 kinds of people, right? Number 1, if it's something like Studio Ghibli or something like cozy and, you know, like knit sweaters, like that type of thing. It's like, you know, this type of person, right? Like they like the vibe, you know, like they're here for autumn vibe. This is the type of person that's like, ooh, autumn's here. I can't wait to get in my jammies and drink some Earl Grey. Ooh, yeah. They might as well just be this picture, right? Like getting your jammies with your fucking nightcap and a fucking candle on a plate. Second type of person, again, you're probably generally pretty normal, right? Like you just like anime for the shows. You're not too weird or rabid about it. The only indicators that you like anime besides your phone wallpaper is that you might have tried drawing anime in the privacy of your own home, right? But then you realize, oh my fucking god, this shit is like way fucking harder than I thought. This is like really hard to draw, right? Some other things you might own one of those like vaguely streetwear adjacent t-shirt with some Japanese or Korean or like Chinese writing on it. You like to tell people that you would like to visit Japan one day, but you think you're normal about it. Like not in a weird way. You just think it would be like a culturally interesting place to visit. You just think it's an interesting culture you'd like to visit for a trip. You think it would be fun and interesting. That's about it, and that's fair. And the third type of person, I don't even need to say. Like, you know what you are. But if you're like, I can't tell if I'm like the second type of person or the third type of person, then one indicator is whether or not you get defensive about if someone like derogatorily, like with a derogatorily tone, tries to like tell you like, oh my god, you watch anime. So if you are the second type of person, right, like then you do get like a little bit defensive. You're like, no, listen, I just like the shows, okay? Like I know I'm normal about it, okay? I just like it for the plot. But if you're actually like the number 3 type of person, then your response is basically like, ha 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 ha, yeah, I'm such a weeb, I'm such a fucking loser. Yeah, like there's not even any fight left in you, right? It's like full submersion acceptance of like your Reddit moderator adjacent status. And since this video is about phone wallpapers, it is interesting how people will spend hours optimizing their phone background searching for a single image that represents who they are, but they won't bother making an actual place on the internet that does the same thing. If you want something more coherent than a lock screen, then you can do that on Squarespace. It's basically like the adult version of changing your wallpaper. I built my website using Squarespace's Fluid engine, which is basically drag and drop. Everything snaps into place, it looks clean, and no one needs to know how little you understand coding or HTML. I made this site about the spherical cow in topology, the math branch in math. It's my channel, fuck you. And since this video is about phone wallpapers, then don't forget to check out the mobile view of your site, which you can do so on Squarespace. It's that fucking good. And if you want the even lazier, even easier version, then you can use Blueprint AI, where you just tell it what you want the site to be about, and it just generates a fully personalized design. So you don't even have to drag and drop because your little hands hurt from dragging and dropping. I need someone to do it for me. Okay, it's too hard. Well, Squarespace will do it for you. So yeah, if your lock screen says discipline, maybe it's time to channel that energy into something real instead of just cosplaying being a highly motivated person. Head to squarespace.com/crystal for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use code crystal to save 10% off your first website or domain. If your phone wallpaper is a car that you own, then this is usually like a decent but not insane car, right? The background is more like a trophy photo, like, oh, look at my hard-earned, slightly aspirational purchase. So there's a sense of pride here, obviously, but it's pretty grounded. You might be someone that like corners someone at a party and tries to like talk to people about like the different trims. If your phone wallpaper is a car that you don't own, then this is basically like a Pinterest vision board for boys. You self-identify as an entrepreneur, and your top listened to podcast on Spotify is Diary of a CEO. You like to go up to people and tell them about how like college is useless, experience is what counts, and how you always wake up early and go to the gym and you like have cold showers, and you tell people about how important it is to read, and you read at least 10 minutes a day, but it's only ever the 48 laws of power, shoe dog, or atomic habits. Probably have some type of like diet, like only eating eggs or like steak or like ground beef, rice, broccoli, basically the things that you feed your dog. If your wallpaper is of a watch, then this has a similar energy to the car guy earlier, but in a different variant, right? Like similar but very different. So while car you don't own wallpaper guy is like manifestation, basically, right? For boys, like motivation porn, where it's aspirational. In contrast, the watch wallpaper is more about signaling and less about manifesting. If you really want to get into like the nitty gritty, right? When you examine through an economic and pseudo-socio-anthropological lens of the contemporary man's relationship to status, then a useful dichotomy emerges between those that gravitate towards entrepreneurship and those who gravitate towards finance. So the first type type of entrepreneurially inclined man is typically motivated by possibility. His orientation towards wealth is narrativized in the future tense. The business he will build, the disruption he will pioneer, or the paradigm that he will shift. The lifestyle that he is certain awaits him once he finally arrives. This produces what I would call a projective economic operandus, where wealth is something less possessed than something perpetually deferred, conjured through symbolism, motivational rhetoric, and aspirational self-branding. The finance-oriented man, by contrast, is motivated by legitimacy. His orientation is present tense, the job he already occupies, the salary he already earns. This produces, in contrast, what I would call preservational operandus, where wealth is validated not through speculation, but through institutional affiliation and tangible accumulation. And it is precisely this distinction that bleeds through the choice of phone wallpaper. The entrepreneur tends towards the car that he does not own. It is a symbolic object, a projection of his imminent arrival, in which his status is rehearsed in advance of its actual materialization. The finance professional, on the other hand, gravitates towards the watch not merely as a consumer object, but as cultural scripture, dense with semiotic value and legible only to those already within the priesthood of capitalism. Because what distinguishes the watch as a signifier of legitimacy is its specificity. Compare this to a car, particularly the imagined Lamborghini or Ferrari, both universally legible objects of aspiration. They are deliberately in your face, visible, flamboyant even, a projection designed and recognized by anyone. The point of the car background is that it requires no cultural knowledge. It suggests wealth in the simplest possible language. By contrast, the watch operates through gatekeeping semiotics. Its legitimacy derives from the fact that its meaning is not immediately apparent to an outsider. The difference between a Rolex Submariner, a Patek Nautilus, or an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is invisible to the uninitiated. Thus, the watch is a show of present legitimacy precisely because it is restrained. The power comes from the assumption that the right people will know. If your phone wallpaper is a picture of a landscape in a video game, then you need to know that foliage is beautiful not because of how good the rendering engine and shaders have gotten in the last decade. Foliage is beautiful because it exists outside, and you can go see it right now. It's right there. If trees only grew in one valley on Earth, then there would be great pilgrimages to go see them, but because they sprout in your backyard, they mean nothing to you. You are impressed by rendered moss because of its proximity to the real image of dappled sunlight through a forest. It's beautiful because it's an imitation of something that your body already remembers. You know it intuitively in your gut even if you don't remember. You see it and feel it and know it as a place that you walked through as a kid or maybe in a past life. You don't need to look at an imitation of the thing. You can see the real thing. You don't need the copy. You can go outside and experience the original. You can feel the wind move through the branches. You don't need the rendered landscape. You just need the sun. If your phone wallpaper is like a family photo, then you are either the healthiest, most well-adjusted person alive or the most guilt-trapped. If your phone wallpaper is like a nature wallpaper, so like mountains, forest, ocean. Here I could do the joke about this, right? Like, oh, there's 3 types of people. Like there's the earnest hiker who you do it to show off where you're going, or like it's a curated stock image where you're like her, like someone who thinks nature is profound with their capital P and they make it their capital P personality. But I just did the whole hope core spiel about the video game landscape, so I need to pick a lane and a stance for this video. So if your wallpaper is of actual nature, then this is nice. This is good. Good for you. If your phone wallpaper is of a calendar or like a productivity template, then this shit doesn't fucking work. It just doesn't. You're not reading that shit. After a while, this is just background noise. Like you still can't meet those deadlines. If your phone wallpaper is of like a weirdly specific niche obsession, for example, steam trains or like old maps, birds, gathering seashells, then hell yeah. Tell me what your niche interest is in the comments, or for anyone actually. Tell me what your phone wallpaper is, and if I missed you, hell yeah, crazy transition to the end screen. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you like this one, then good news for you. I made a shit ton of what your blank thing says about you, which you can check out in this playlist, or you should watch this video that YouTube thinks you should watch next.